Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing and take a little time to explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today we're going to start a brand new week with a brand new series of trainings, all focused on work and money. And so I'm in the middle now of, not in the middle, but I've just recently started a brand new series of mini trainings that are completely free here at Rise and Receive and are posted in the Receive community and on my YouTube channel to help you with the intention of really helping you start to bring closure to 2021 so that you can start your new year fresh with possibilities. And I'm really passionate about helping you connect with peace, power, and the predictability that comes from having the right awarenesses and the right tools to surpass your limits. So you can't predict life or control life, but you can tap into predictability when you know that you can count on yourself to access the correct tools and the correct awarenesses that make surpassing your limits possible. So for today, we're going to do training number 1. And it's really focused on when and how it is that you feel stuck around work and money, and how to tap into greater ease and movement around the things that you want most. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment so that this training is really relevant to you to think about what it is that you would like around work and money. What would make that aspect of your life more fulfilling? So maybe it's in the work itself that you want something that's more meaningful, more purposeful. Maybe you want to feel like a greater contribution or feel more creative or do more of what you want to do and less of what you think you have to do. Maybe it's the work environment. Maybe it's doesn't feel healthy, or it's really, demanding or challenging or toxic, or that you're just a cog in a wheel and you're not really treated like a human being. So it might be an experience of your work environment. Maybe it's the money side. Maybe you want to make more money. You want a promotion and you want to have the opportunity to work less hard and make more money. Simply get a raise, maybe a whole new career, a whole new job, a whole new arena that you could dedicate most of your waking hours to. So just take a moment to think about what would make your work and money experience more fulfilling. I know one of the things that a lot of people come to me is feeling like they can't let go of the job that they have because they have to pay the bills and they're terrified of taking the leap. So they stay in jobs that they hate or really struggle with for a long time, and they just can't see a way out. So all of these things kind of point to places that people can feel stuck. And if that's you, then I think you're really going to like what we're going to talk about today. By the way, if these mini trainings are new to you, I'm going to be here on Wednesday and Friday doing part 2 and part 3. And we're going to focus exclusively on work and money. And if you stick around, I'll include links and let you know where you can learn where to get the recordings and learn more information. So before I go into the actual training, if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I mentor ambitious, goal-oriented people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And I also love to focus on the beyond factors. So ease, speed, and beyond is what I'm all about. And one of the main ways that I do this is I illuminate blind spots, because there's basically 2 modes of operating in the world. You can operate as a human doing, which is what most ambitious, goal-oriented people do. We're very well trained in that skill. You can also operate as a human being, which tends to be less familiar to people who over-rely on doing. Because being is like, well, yeah, that's what I am, but how is that useful or productive or effective in achieving my goals and dreams? Well, it absolutely is. And if you don't have the skills that come with human beingness, or what I call the power of being, what happens is when your goals and dreams are not happening and you've been working really hard, I like to call that the hard work treadmill, where you keep walking and walking and walking and you never get anywhere. Same thing with hard work. You just work hard forever, but you never quite get there. That's the upper limit. And that happens because there comes a point that you have to know how to switch between doing and being, or hunting and pursuing and receiving what you've been working so hard for. So I love to teach the skill that I call receiving. I teach ambitious, goal-oriented people how to receive, because most of us have no idea how to do that. It's the most natural thing in the world, but it's become unfamiliar because we've been validated and rewarded for what we do, how smart we are, how hard we work, and what we achieve. But our value as human beings and how we could receive as an experience and expression of that, not so familiar. So that's what I love to do here, is illuminate that, because then you can go beyond your upper limit with ease, speed, and beyond what you ever imagined possible, because you've tapped into the skill set that's been missing for you. So with that, let's move into our first key, the key number 1 for the work and money situation and how to surpass your limits. So today we're going to talk about ease. What brings greater ease? And the pain point for many people is, I just feel stuck. I'm just stuck. No matter what I do, everything I've thought of, every strategy I've tried, every book that I've read, every person that I've talked to, every tactic that I've incorporated, I'm stuck. I just keep hitting that limit. So let me just take my notes here. I wanted to talk about 2 things in particular. So the solution to that, when you feel stuck, is that you need to shift from, as I talked about earlier, operating as a human doing versus a human being. And the 2 things I'm going to talk about today, specific to work and money, these are 2 really important ideas that can help you really get unstuck. One is that you need to understand the connection between energy and action. Because there's this thing that happens for many of us until we understand the deeper thing that's happening when we take action towards our goals and dreams, work and money or otherwise, is that we believe that cause and effect all happens in the physical world. But there's a deeper cause to every effect that you experience in your life. And that's the theme for this entire mini training series, which is that your consciousness creates your reality. When you understand what's happening in your inner world, the human beingness of you, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, your expectations, your memories, your conditioning, all of this stuff, which is just as legitimate a terrain to understand as the outer world that we play with and engage with our 5 physical senses. When you understand how to really travel the terrain of your inner world and what's happening in consciousness, your consciousness is what creates your reality. Now, you can't control your reality, but you absolutely can create it through being a partner to life rather than trying to control life, which is what we do as human doings. So that's the first thing, understanding the connection between energy or your consciousness and the actions you take. And I'm going to give you a very concrete example so that you can really understand what we're talking about today and start to incorporate this in your life. The second thing is, as you shift from human doing to human being, you're going to be shifting from trying to control things to your true power. So from control to power, or control to willingness. The willingness to invite the things that you want, to put your attention on the things that you most want in your life. Okay, so here's the first. Oh, I got so itchy on camera. I've been trying to fend it off, but there it is. So here's the first thing we're going to do. I want you to think about your work and money situation. And chances are pretty good, I'm willing to bet, if you're tuning in today or at the video, that you're thinking that these 2 things are bound together. There's a cause and effect. I need to change the work thing in order to get more money, because the work thing is the cause of the effect that I want, which is more money. Now, there might be other effects that you want, such as, again, purpose, meaning, joy, and freedom. But today we're talking about the work and money connection, because this is one of those that just gets so tangled up. All right, so think about that. And now here's the first piece that we're going to do to help you connect with the true cause of every effect. I'd like you to start thinking about work and money as 2 separate things. Okay, because when you start connecting the 2, and they're bound up, you are going to get tied up all in a knot. And what's happening in consciousness then is this. When you're operating as a human doing, which is hunter mode, you're going to be a master problem solver. So you're going to be gathering all this information, all this data, and the space of your awareness, the space where everything happens in consciousness, is going to be filled up with all kinds of problem solving, struggle and figuring out, and your attention's going to be on this piece of information and that piece of information and this problem and how do I solve it and where's the answer. So this space that's your consciousness, okay, your awareness, is just filled up with problem solving. Your consciousness creates your reality. If you are focusing on problem solving, you're going to get more problems. What you want to do in human being mode then is empty the space, because you need a space in which to receive something new. Okay, you're going to empty the space. So just let all of those questions simply be here. Let them land. And instead, you're going to let that space itself, because space is the invitation, be the invitation for the work and the money fulfillment that you seek. But you're going to separate the two. All right, so sometimes you'll be focusing on what you want for work, and you'll empty the space around the problem solving there and really connect with what you want versus what you don't want. And then sometimes you're going to empty the space and then focus on the money situation. Okay, now you're also going to shift from asking what do I do? What do I do to get a better job? What do I do to get a better promotion or a different career? Or what do I do to be able to leave this job and go to something new? So you're going to shift from what do I do to who do I be? Who is the you that is happily working at the job you want? I bet you are so if you're unhappy in your work situation, a little or a lot, I bet you are so disconnected from that you. Okay? Your consciousness creates your reality. So if your attention keeps going towards the you that's unhappy in your job, you're going to create more of that. If you start inviting feelings and experiences and sensations of anything that is more in alignment with what you want to experience at work, I guarantee you, you're going to become the invitation for more of what you want. Same thing with money. Who is the you that's focused on money where it isn't enough, or you're stressed, or you're afraid, or you're anxious, or you're thinking about the future? Who's that you who's trying to figure out what do I do to all of these money issues, to who do I want to be? Who do I need to be? Who do I imagine myself to be when the money situation is flowing the way I would like, right? I bet you there's a million miles of distance between that you, which I call the today you, versus the new you, which is the you beyond your upper limit. So we're going to separate out job and money. We're going to shift from human doing that asks what do I do to human being, who do I be, all right? And now I'm going to give you that example I talked about regarding the cause and effect, the energy that connects to action. All right. So imagine that you would like to build a brand new, beautiful park. Okay. And in this park, you have visions of benches and fountains and trees and shrubs. Now, you've got a plain lot of land, and you've got a warehouse with all the supplies and where the workers that are going to come out all hang out. So there's a distance to travel, right? And you're thinking, well, if I'm going to build this park, I need to take a whole lot of action. So I'm going to need a truck. And so you get a truck and you're going to start taking lots of trips, taking lots of actions from point A to point B, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So you're taking a lot of action. Human doings think that they need to take a whole lot of action in order to get the result that they want. So if you want a different job situation, you got to take a whole lot of action and do some problem solving and do some networking and fill out your resume and check out the job boards. A lot of action. If you want to change your money situation, you got to take a whole lot of action. You got to figure out where you're going to make the money. You got to save. You got to get out of debt. You got to do budgets. You got to invest. You got to do research. You got to figure out what's happening in the economy. You see, a whole lot of doing. So that's what human doings think that you have to take a lot of action. So you do have to take a lot of action, but action is not the cause of the effect. What's equally important as action, and sometimes much more important than the action, is what's in the truck. Check your cargo. If you've gone from the warehouse over to the park site and taken a whole bunch of action, but you never check the cargo, what's in the truck might be the garbage and the toxic waste that they've been storing in the next field over. What if you took a whole bunch of action and what you dumped at the park site was toxic waste? Not only do you not have your park, you now have created more work for yourself because you didn't check the cargo. And that's what happens when we don't understand the connection between energy and action. We will be out there in human doing mode on that treadmill, taking a whole bunch of action, and we don't stop to check what is the consciousness with which I'm taking action. Who am I being? Am I being stressed, anxious, cranky, frustrated, desperate, obsessed Sonia, taking all this action in order to change my job or my money situation? Well, guess what? Stressed, anxious, stressed out, freaked out, desperate Sonia is going to create more of the same no matter what action I take. Okay? Same thing with money. Am I operating from I'm alone, I'm in lack, I'm in scarcity, I don't know what to do about money, and I got to work harder in order to make more money? I'm going to create that situation because that's the cargo in my truck of action. Consciousness is the cargo in the truck. So you can take a whole bunch of action and still not get the right results. This is what happens all the time when people start to follow blueprints and templates and all of these plans there's so many great plans out there. So many great plans from teachers and authors and mentors and coaches. But if your consciousness is not in the right place, you'll either sabotage before you even take the action and do the plans, or you'll do these plans and they still won't work because you're not dealing with the deeper issue, which is what's your consciousness when you're taking action. So we are going to focus on the consciousness, the cargo in your truck, so that when you take action around money and around your job, you will be taking action that can actually invite what you want, because it's actually an expression of who you're being rather than an action that's based in trying to control the outcomes in the physical world. So I hope you're tracking with me. And if you have any questions afterwards, I will check the feed. I will answer questions in the comments, and I'll tell you where you can go to post more of your questions. So that's the first piece, all right, is to really understand cause and effect. So how does this translate into concrete things that you can do today? Well, the second piece, besides understanding cause and effect, this is another one to get unstuck, this is how it really works. There is one source and infinite channels for everything that you want in life. Okay? So if there's a job that you want and somebody else, got it, that company wasn't your source. That's just one source. That's just one channel for infinite sources. It's kind of like our atmosphere and our oceans are the source of our water, but there's infinite channels, rivers and creeks and waterfalls that you can get your water from. If one creek dries up, it's not your source. There's another place where you can receive water from. And that's the same with money, and that's the same with jobs. Okay? You want to stay open and receptive to whatever life is offering you. But you must stop the fighting and the struggling, let it land, and then shift into human being mode. And we do that with willingness. There's many ways that we can do this, but for today we're going to focus on willingness, which is about you becoming willing to receive the ideal job in effortless ways. One of my favorite mantras for money. So I'm going to give you some mantras that you can use, or affirmations that let you now start to put your attention in human being mode and be an invitation for what you want. Okay. So with money, here's one of my favorite ones. When people start using this one, they get so excited. I always love hearing the stories that I get back. I am willing to receive money from expected and unexpected channels. I am willing to believe that money can flow to me easily and effortlessly. I am willing to remain open and receptive to the job opportunities that are here for me now. I am willing to discover how receiving job opportunities that are in alignment with me can be easy and effortless. Okay, there's many willingness mantras that you can experiment with. There's so many, I can't even say them all today, but I'm going to point you to the Receive Oracle cards because I created a deck just to help people with this very thing. There are 56 affirmations here that can help you with your work and money situation. Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up, right? The first thing is you want to separate money and work into two separate things. And then when you notice yourself asking, what do I do? Stop. Breathe. Let the struggle just land. Now pick one, job or money. What's the most important one to you? Let's say it's your job. You just hate your job or you just want something different. Okay. Think about who you want to be in a work situation. And this is how you do it. How do you want to feel? I want to feel creative in my job. I want to feel connected to the people in my work. I want to believe that I can have work that's fulfilling to me. Just figure out what you're feeling now. Figure out how you want to feel instead. You can create a willingness mantra. I am willing to believe that I can experience creativity and autonomy and freedom in my work in expected and unexpected ways. Show me the way. What else is possible now? Just keep being in that state of openness. That's human being mode. With money, focus on how you want to feel. Do you want to feel taken care of? You want to feel safety? You want to feel security? I am willing to feel safe in my relationship with money under all conditions. I'm willing to receive money from expected and unexpected channels. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a personal story, which is when I really, really got this idea of one source and infinite channels. So at the time I was married and my then husband had his own business. And as an entrepreneur, sometimes cash doesn't flow. And we had just bought a house, we had 2 little babies, and I went to part-time work and the paychecks weren't coming consistently. I started to freak out. Meanwhile, I was hearing about these ideas, right? And I was always, like, oh my gosh, better get us back pay. We need to get that paycheck. We're really stressed out. I was stressed out. I was the one that was paying the bills. And he couldn't guarantee that there was going to be back pay. So for the first time in my life, I was paying for groceries with a credit card. This was a really scary time because I was one of those, I pay all of my bills. I just was freaking out, but I was studying this stuff. And then I had that aha moment. Wait a minute. His job is not our source. I remembered one source and infinite channels. His paycheck is not our source. Now, up until then, this had happened quite a few times where, paychecks would come in and then one day they wouldn't and I would freak out. And then paychecks would come in and one day they wouldn't and I'd freak out. And every time I'd say, can you please do something to get this back pay? Can you please do something? And he couldn't control it because we can't control life, right? But this time I remembered. It's not my source. I am willing to receive money from expected and unexpected channels. The next week, for the first time in the history of all of this happening, he got 3 back paychecks. Now, I can't guarantee that that's going to happen for you, and the money could have come from anywhere. I've had this experience and my clients have so many times that money can come from anywhere, but you must stop the problem solving. You must realize that the cause and the effect are not in the physical world, but are in consciousness. You have to really understand that. And then from human doing to human being mode, you become open and receptive and willing for life to deliver for you. I've been doing this for more than 2 decades. The stories always come in. If you are willing to work in consciousness and shift from human doing to human being and learn how to receive, life always offers kindness. Can you control life? Absolutely not. And that's what the human doing doesn't like. You're not going to be able to control this. But can you receive with more ease, more speed, and beyond what you ever imagined? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this inspired you. I hope you're going to take some willingness mantras and put some of this to practice. And I'd like to give you some next steps that you can take. I'm doing a brand new workshop. It's going to be a 2-day workshop starting this month. It's now November. And the link to that is surpassyourlimitsworkshop.com. I hope you'll join me. If you want to connect with what is possible for you, all of the ways that ease, speed, and beyond can become your experience, go check out that information page because I've got lots of examples of what other students experienced when they started practicing these tools. Okay, so that's a great next step. You can also join the Receive community. I'll post a link. It's facebook.com/groups/Receive community. Right then and there is where we practice receiving every day. Some new inspiration, something to contemplate, something to practice. That's where we nurture receiving and learn how to bring it into our lives. So please join me there. I hope I'll see you at the next mini training. It's Wednesday. All the updates get posted on Facebook and the Receive community, so just stay tuned. And I hope you'll share and like. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. Have a great day, and I'll see you at the next mini training. Bye-bye.